Hi there, Sean. Sorry to hear that your wife was in an accident, and I think I got your message earlier that that she's a-okay. That's good to hear. And it is like the Wild West out there on the Colorado roads, and no wonder the insurance rate is so high out here. So, all right. Anyway, so four things I want to talk about today. I'll go down the list. You have questions at the end or want me to look at anything, shoot them on over to me, and I'll take a look and do my best to answer. So. Awesome. I think you said in your text that you got the E minor pentatonic long form kind of sitting on your fingers very nicely with 3-note sequences. Right, and so on and so forth. What to do with that now? So, for the next step is that two things. You can just keep on moving through the different note sequences. So you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could do that. That's one option that you have, is doing 4-note sequences. The second is what you can do is see if you can continue the 3-note sequence through the other boxes on the fretboard. So say if you're using long form to kind of navigate your way up the neck, you could start off here, like say 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm in box 3 right here. Right? You can use that to stop off at any other box. So if I do this here, not box 4 this time. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now I've jumped into box 4. Come back down. Back down to long form. So you have 5 different boxes you can stop at. Maybe each practice session, maybe pick like one of them to get good. See if you can continue that 3-note sequence into the box. It'd be good for you, like it's good exercise in visualizing like where all this stuff is on the guitar. That way you can do it more on the fly rather than having to pre-plan everything. So do that for me. And then number 2 is the major scale. So I believe you said last time that you said in the text that you're feeling really good about the fingering. Where you're like, Now, the thing you have to ask yourself is, what is the difference between the major scale and then the pentatonic scale? So remember that A minor pentatonic is also really C major pentatonic. So what's the difference between C major pentatonic and C major scale? Right? And we figured out last time is that that there are 2 additional notes added to the scale. They're what called scale degrees, right? In C major, C is scale degree number 1, D is scale degree number 2, E is 3. So no matter what your scale, no matter what scale you're operating in, the home note right here, the tonic note, is always given 1, and all of them are given the other numbers in numerical order, right? So the next note would get 2, the next note would get 3. There's no jumping around with the scale degrees. They're always going to be in order. And the difference between the major scale and the minor pentatonic is the addition of those 2 tendency tones. You're adding 4 and you're adding 7. These 2 right here are called half steps, right? They're only 1 fret away from each other. The minor pentatonic and major pentatonic doesn't contain any half steps. So if we want to bring out the flavor of the major scale and get away from that minor pentatonic or major pentatonic sound, we have to bring out the flavor of the major scale, which is those half step relationships in the scale. So when I play the A minor pentatonic / C major pentatonic, if I would look like this, box 1, right? And the addition of is what makes major sound major, right? And what we want to do is we want to bring out those flavors. So what I would practice is those half step relationships. Know where they all are. So what I would do is like maybe record like a C major or something or other. I just play a C chord just real quick. So see if I just play. Now I'm practicing my scale. I might practice going. So B wants to go up to C, and F wants to fall down to E. Now why is because you've been brainwashed since your birth by listening to all kinds of music that our music does that, right? You just heard it so many times that it just seems normal to you. right? And then also you should do 3-note sequences with this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Targeting those notes, or practice the 3-note sequence for me, and bringing out those flavor notes, that 7 to 8, the 4 to 3. Because remember, I'm talking about scale degrees. A scale 4 wants to fall down to 3, and 7 wants to rise to 8. Sounds final. Do 3-note sequences with it, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the cool thing is that coming down the road, we're going to add something in that we weren't able to talk about in the pentatonic scale. We're going to start talking about wider skipped intervals, which would be super exciting for you to learn about, as I find them endlessly fascinating. All right, then number 3 is that remember how every minor pentatonic scale had a corresponding cage shape? Well, since we're playing cage major, right, the same principle applies. Every box of cage major has a corresponding cage chord. In this situation here, in C major box 1, has a corresponding cage shape, which is G form. We said that all the C, A, G, E, and D chords can move around the fretboard to produce chords that sound like whatever key you want to be in. So for G chord, right, if you play G like this, right, we move that shape up here. It's a root 6 chord. That C is right here on the 6th string, on the 8th fret. Okay? So I've taken this G chord right here, and I've moved it up here. Right? Now the block shape isn't super useful in the rock. You don't see it very often in rock music. But what is useful is being able to play it broken apart. So I've done is I've tabbed it out here for you. So what you can do is take this G major shape right here. Because remember, G major, right? G major here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play it 1 note at a time. Oops. All right. Wait, each one of those. And I'm outlining that C chord in that position. I've circled the C's in that arpeggio, in that broken chord, and you want to aim for those. All right. This week, just practice targeting those notes when you're playing. So when you're playing your scale, there it is. There it is. There it is. So practice just hitting those notes or just stopping at those notes when you're running up and down your scale. Don't worry about soloing with them yet, but we got to get really good at first just like hitting them and just knowing where they even are. Practice that for me. And then number 4 is Fell on Black Days. I'm going to send you over the tab. In the tab, it's measures 43 and 44. That's the tab which you want to look at right there. What the riff sounds like is this. I think that's it right there. Right. So what that is you're going to do an octave box at the 7th fret, right? Root 6, 1, 2, 3. Jump down here to string 5, 7, 11, 12. So slowly. First part. We'll go up to speed. This first part right there, break that up. Next part of the riff, open D string. And he's going to use that open D string as a drone note through the entire next section right here. Use fingers 1 and 2, 16 and 17, hammer on, pull off. 14, notice how I hit the D string at the same time as the 3rd string. Hit the D string first. 14, 16, 17, 19, 17, 16, 14, 14 again. So we have 16, 17, hammer and pull off, 14, 16, 17, 19, 17, 16, 14. Whole riff nice and slow. All right, smart where to put your fingers first. More up to speed. So work on that riff for me. Like I said, at the center of the tab, this measures 43 and 44. Don't let all those like parentheses and everything freak you out. You're just hitting the first octave box 3 times, down, up, down, hopping down to the 5th string, same octave box. Move the octave box up to 11, octave box at 12. So don't let all those like curved lines and all the wacky stuff on there freak you out. If you need me to write it out with all that in there, just let me know and I'll do that for you. Just send me over a message. Work on that riff. Work on getting through that the Cage arpeggio. Major scales, bring up the flavor of the major scale, do 3-note sequences with it, and then same thing for the E minor pentatonic long form. 4-note sequences if you want, or do the 3-note sequence and stop off at different boxes. Cool, man. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you same time next time. Take care.